Beatrix Potter was a truly remarkable woman. As well as being famous as an artist and a storyteller, as you've just seen in the video, she was also a gifted naturalist, a successful farmer, and a far-sighted conservationist. She was a strong supporter of the National Trust from its very beginnings, and when she died, she left all her property to the Trust so that people can enjoy it to this very day. All of it is in the beautiful English Lake District, where she lived for the last 30 years of her life. Her house in the village of near Sorey is called Hilltop Farm, and it has become a Beatrix Potter shrine for the thousands of people who visit it from all over the world. At Hilltop and other places in the area, people can recognize actual scenes from the famous little books, because she drew pictures of real places as backgrounds for her stories. Tom Kitten's family lived at Hilltop, and so did Samuel Whiskers, and Anna Maria, and a few others. And now the house has a National Trust person to look after it, Mike Hemmings.
Well, everything in the house, bar one or two very small exceptions, all belong to Beatrix Potter. They were items that she collected during her lifetime and placed into Hilltop, and in her will she did ask us to keep Hilltop and the rooms and its contents as they were during her lifetime. Well, we have had to make one or two very small adjustments to cope for the 80,000 odd visitors that we get each year. We have had to move one or two items from one corner of the room to another corner of the room where they've been particularly vulnerable. We are sponsoring a study over the next 3 years for somebody to actually calculate precisely and scientifically how much wear and tear visitor numbers cause to the house, so that we can actually say, if we allow another 80,000 visitors every year for the next 10 years, this much damage will occur, so that we can then set our visitor levels at the optimum number. I suppose in a very busy week in high season we could get 3,500 to 4,000 visitors through the house, which is a tremendous number, bearing in mind we're only open for 5 days. But on the other hand, we do try to smooth out the visitor flow as far as we can. Unfortunately, it's a fairly robust little house. We have a structural engineer come each year to make sure that the floors are all standing up to the wear and tear all right, that the stairs have been strengthened where they need to be strengthened. So we do everything that we can to preserve the house and protect it, which is in fact the National Trust's main reason for existing.
The National Trust is grateful for the gift of so much beauty and understands Beatrix Potter's reasons for leaving it to them. Susan Denyer.
She had a great love of the Lake District, and in the later years of her life she almost had a mission, you could say, to try and preserve a little bit of the Lake District landscape, which had been such an inspiration to her when she was writing and painting her storybooks. And in the 1920s and 30s, much of this landscape was under threat from developers who wanted to build on the land and from the effects of the economic depression. So she was beginning to see a landscape that she loved breaking up. And so she used the money that she had from her storybooks to buy up farms that came up for sale and to try and keep them together as working farming units. And she was tremendously successful at that. At the time of her death, she had amassed an estate of some 4,000 acres, 14 farms. 2 she ran herself, Hilltop and Troutbeck Park, and the rest she managed through tenants. And as well as keeping all those farm units together, she did a great deal to preserve the Herdwick breed of sheep, which is the indigenous breed of sheep in this area. She was associated with the Herdwick Sheep Breeders Association. She bred those sheep herself on her farms, and she won all sorts of prizes for them when she exhibited them at local shows. She was an enormous supporter, both of the local farming society and of the Sheep Breeders Association.
Beatrix Potter was a truly remarkable woman. She saw long ago that the countryside was threatened, and she made certain that one piece of the countryside, at any rate, would be for everybody to enjoy forever. And she left her delightful stories and pictures. They will last forever as well.